I lost my phone, so I don't have a phone. Oh, me. Let's see. Bree, look at me. Look at me, Bree. Okay. Wow. Oh, she heard me. Did you hear? She heard me. Like, Bree, look at me. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our town hall. This is our April 5th Thursday meeting. It's a very laid-back forum where we can do question and answer, not like our regular meetings where we listen and we can't dialogue, but we can make announcements, talk about different things, and dialogue back and forth. So the way this will work is if you'd like to speak or give announcement or anything, then just come up to the podium one at a time, give your name, address, and if you live in the city or county, and then we will be happy to discuss anything you'd like. If you're asking a question of us that we may not have the answer tonight, we definitely will get your name and number and look into it and get the answer back to you. So with that, we'll begin. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes.
I've got a quick announcement to make while whoever wants to go first comes up to the podium. This will just take just a sec, so go ahead and make your way up if you'd like. I've been asked to share on behalf of Fairview Nutrition. The third annual Mother's Day Bouquet Bar fundraiser is happening next weekend, May 8th and 9th. And just as a reminder, this is the third annual, and they support the Fairview Police Department's Shop with a Cop program. So the proceeds go to support the Shop with a Cop program to help children in the community to have Christmas with our police officers. And so anyway, I've just been asked to share that, and the hours and more details will be shared soon, but that's sponsored by Fairview Nutrition and Sturm Properties.
Right.
Meredith Kaiser, 7321 Cox Run Court in the city. And I'm here to represent the Friends of Bowie Park. As you can imagine, the Friends are ecstatic today, the opening of the park, and we want to take this occasion to make a presentation for the summer camp scholarship fund.
Awesome.
So, Miss Bree, come on down. Send kids to summer camp.
Thank you.
We've still got, she's still got space. And for
All
you all
right.
at home, the applications are still open.
Okay. And
Do something a little more official so we can take your picture, take it up there.
that is a good idea. I don't have my phone with me. Okay.
Oh, you want to?
So Mary and Bree come up front, and we'll just all stand behind them. Do you want to go switch it so that everybody let you? Yeah, go switch it. That way the community can see.
So while she's doing that, we want to say congratulations you all for coming together and working out such a creative way to fund getting things done. And we hope sincerely that Ben will cross all the I's, and dot the I's and cross the T's, and you will get some reimbursement.
Yes. We have faith in Ben.
And if he wants a former payroll person to help him.
Oh, okay.
Volunteer here.
We will let him know.
Okay, I'm gonna take a couple. I don't have that great of a camera. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, friends.
I would just like to take a quick second to thank our wonderful Friends of Bowie. Their leadership and dedication to supporting our park has been evident throughout the restructuring of programs and whatnot. And they have taken multiple opportunities to sponsor us, provide us with grants. And this, I believe, is the third year now that they have provided scholarships for summer camps. So a lot of kids have been able to join us because of them. So thank you, Friends of Bowie.
Thank you, friends.
Dear Mayor and Commissioners, my name is Larry Webb, and I live at 7475 Atwater Circle in Fairview, Tennessee. I bought property here in 2024, and I moved in March of 2025, so I've been here a little over a year. In regards to my professional career over the last 45 years, I've had a lifetime of experience within the disaster planning, response, training, recovery, and mitigation arenas. I have significant fire protection experience as a community fire chief, where I directed fire, rescue, EMS, emergency management services for the city of San Marcos, California. And I have a letter for you tonight, and I'm attaching my letter, my resume, to help substantiate some of the comments in my letter and some of the things I want to speak about tonight. Since the start of the ice storm and the subsequent local, state, and federal disaster declarations, I have followed as much information as I could get about the City of Fairview's response and recovery operations. I have followed the information provided on the multiple Facebook pages, and I've watched all of the City Commission meetings regarding this topic. Although I have no detailed information on how the city plans and responds to disaster declarations, based on my own past experiences over 45-plus years and my personal experience in dealing with this particular ice storm, I'm here to formally request that the city undertake a detailed after-action review on the city's response and recovery process to this recent disaster. We have to know what went right, we have to know what went wrong, and we also need to know what we can improve on in regards for future disasters that may come our way. Although there are many points to discuss regarding the recent response and recovery operations undertaken by the city, this disaster also underscores the need for a complete review of the city's emergency plan, emergency response training, recovery plans, continuity of operations, mitigation plans, and detailed debris management plans. Disasters know no bounds, and I've been involved in disaster and catastrophic planning, which is my expertise, for many, many years. I actually wrote the Catastrophic Event Acts for the state of Tennessee. I've done work for FEMA. I've done work for the United States Army, and I've done work for many, many states in the United States. One thing that we need to know is that in some cases when a disaster hits, city policies may have to be temporarily suspended, or in some cases just bent, to allow us to properly recover in a timely manner. That allows the disaster recovery process to work. In the case of my neighborhood, which is called the Goodwin Farm subdivision, and probably like many other residents within the community, that did not happen. You see, because our street, located in the Goodwood Farm subdivision, is in limbo, as the transition from the developer to the city has not been finalized. The city, therefore, has taken the position they will provide no city services, specifically disaster services, for streets that are in limbo like mine. So just imagine if you are a Fairview resident that you've been paying taxes for over a year, you've been driving and going back and forth, and all of a sudden you find out there's no city services provided to you. This is just one of many policy decisions that needs re-examination in the review of the latest disaster, as well as all of our emergency management policies. I also want to take a minute about mentioning what the future looks like. We have a mitigation problem facing us, and no one's really been talking about it yet, and it's called fire mitigation. We have areas throughout Fairview that have damaged trees, downed debris, and none of those areas are being really dealt with. We also have areas in Bowie Park, 800 some acres, and I walk in Bowie Park regularly. Believe it or not, I walked 300 miles across Scotland and trained right here in Bowie. So What I want to say about that is we need a fire mitigation plan for Bowie Park. We need fire mitigation plans for all of these areas that are what I would refer to as wildland interface areas. And we also need an incident action plan, a pre-plan, so to speak, if a fire happens at Bowie Park, how we would handle a wildland fire response to that park. This is one of many things that I look at from my side of just being here for a short period of time. Appreciate your time, and thank you for your consideration.
Mr. Webb, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming here and speaking about this. And I appreciate your service as a firefighter and a fellow firefighter. You went higher in the ranks of me than me. You were chief in California. So I appreciate everything you've done for your 30-plus years of service. Thank you.
Okay. The one thing I wanted to mention about the policy about not providing disaster services. One of the interesting thing about this is I've been told that the city will not go onto any streets that are in this situation that I'm in. So just imagine tonight if we have straight line winds, and those straight line winds come and blow debris into my street, onto my street right now, or into any other of these streets, no one is coming to help us. So us 42 homes that are in that development, this is where I say, when it comes to disaster policies, and I've worked a lot of them, I worked the operations position for the tornadoes back in 2009. I've worked the planning section for the state in regards to the floods. I've been all over the United States doing this. I've done work for the United States Army Installation Management Command, and I've never, ever heard a city take the position that they will not render aid to citizens who simply live on a street that's in limbo.
Sir, what's the current status of your streets now in Goodwin
It's
Farms?
done.
It's
As
been
far as
cleaned
I
up,
know,
right?
it's
Everything's-
done.
Okay.
And as far as I can understand, the developer and the city have to come to some kind of consensus of if their city's going to accept it or not. Other questions for me?
So in reference to like fire and police, you would respond. So those services, if you had a medical emergency or a fire or something like that, they would respond. So what we're talking about is if it's, like a disaster, like with the ice storm or a tornado or something.
Well, we're talking, the way it's been written to me in writing, provide the city, is no city services will be provided to a street that's in my circumstance. So yes, we could declare a disaster, have a disaster, and no disaster relief is coming to those residents that live on that street.
I just don't want people to confuse that with police, fire, services like that.
I appreciate that, but the thing is that's not what it says in my email. It says no city services will be provided. So I realize that 911 call will come in, and they will probably come. But what I'm not following is if it is,
They will come.
I get it, but what I'm not following is debris, in this case, debris. And here's the thing. I tried multiple times to get information on the debris, and this is where I start talking about debris management plans or plans, because you call City Hall and nobody could tell you where they were at. You couldn't find any information of what they were doing. All the area around my place, around our neighborhood was being picked up, but we were being left. It wasn't until it was posted on Facebook that I learned that our street wasn't going to be picked up. Now, that's fine. All I needed to do is know that. But I didn't understand what's going on here. And this is, like I said, this is the first time that I have seen someone skipped because of a street that simply is in limbo. There's blacktop on that street. There's streetlights on that. There's fire hydrants. Everything is there. We've been driving and living on that street for a year. Kids got playgrounds in the backyard. So what I'm suggesting is as this after-action review is done, what I'm suggesting is we look at that, and in the first 0 to 4 hours of a disaster, policymakers have to make certain decisions. When I scripted the Tennessee Catastrophic Event Annex, I scripted every single thing, every single department had to do in 4-hour blocks. So imagine for yourself, for example, wouldn't it be nice if you had a script 0 to 4 hours, these are the things I should accomplish as a policymaker. 4 to 8 hours over the first 96 hours. And I did that for 30 days for all the departments. So these are the kinds of tools that are available, that are out there. These are the things that can be done. And so that's what I'm suggesting we do, is you look at those things that have happened and take the opportunity when you are presented with a situation like this, that you have the ability to flex some of these city policies under the disguise of a disaster.
I just want to say thank you so much for sharing this information and your perspective. We are just receiving this right now, so I'm already looking up a couple of things, and I'll look into it and see what we could do. If you don't hear anything for a while, I don't want you to think that we're not.
Well, I'm in the process of already
Anticipating or
moving
taking
my
it
debris.
seriously.
I'm getting my debris out. My other
Yes.
neighbors, I'm not sure what they're doing right now, but by tomorrow, mine will be gone.
Yeah.
So,
I was thinking of the longer term plan. I think with the debris, we're still also trying to
yeah.
figure out what's happening in the moment, but for the longer term planning, I hear what you're saying. And I think that's important, and I
Well,
appreciate your sharing this.
Yeah, I think the opportunity always exists with an after-action review to give you an opportunity to be able to move forward on some of these things. The other thing is this city right now is ripe to get fire mitigation grants. They are out there, we should be getting them, and here's why. We've had a significant drought in the state of Tennessee. We've now had a significant ice storm that's done damage to our interface areas and left enough of debris. Those three things alone, plus the fact that we have a financial issue of the ice storm, we have four things right there that we can build a fire mitigation grant on, right there, and they're out there. And that's what we should be focusing on next. The other thing is going to happen, and I've already seen them, we have pine leaf borers or pine leaf beetles that are in these pine areas right now. And I've seen them right in my backyard out there because I border into a wildland interface area. So as the drought affects us, as this ice storm has affected us, these trees get weakened and these pine borers love it. And so that's another thing that we need to be thinking about in the future.
Mr. Webb, I'm going to try to see if you have some expertise in another area from that. You mentioned FEMA. Do you have any flood damage experience?
Yeah, I've done,
Okay. I figured they'd probably have to, but I've got a
I've just
couple of
about been on
questions.
every disaster in the
Yes, sir.
country. So I worked the 2010 floods for TEMA
Right.
when we had the big floods.
Well, I also, as a restoration contractor, I did the same, worked with that too. But my question as far as Fairview goes, in the flood situations we've had, about 3 or 4 months ago, we had some residents come up here talking about flood getting in their garages, getting in their houses, getting in their yards, coming from basically the detention ponds. In my examination of all the detention ponds, which I'm not an engineer, but I got some good old-fashioned common sense when I can see where the water's flowing, that it's flowing in the wrong direction. So have you run into a situation where detention ponds need to have a periodic maintenance?
Well, that's a great question because that's an issue for my neighborhood right now.
I've been by your neighborhood.
We have
too.
2 retention ponds.
Yes, sir.
And the question is when the development was being built, the lack of stormwater control and the lack of erosion control was frankly, in my mind, ridiculous.
Yeah.
So those retention ponds are doing something they shouldn't be doing, and that's retaining silt and not retaining water.
Right.
So right now, whether the city has a policy or not, those retention ponds probably need an evaluation, and if they've gotten 20% full of silt, then they need to be cleaned
Need to
out.
be scraped out. I've got the city engineer looking into several that I've run into. And believe it or not, the one that I overlooked for quite a while in my investigation throughout the city was the one behind the Bowie Commons over here. That one's not been touched. If you look behind there, you'll see what I'm talking about. We got trees that had grown up in there that's probably 20, 25 feet tall. Pine trees, they grow real fast, but they're hindering. And if we have another flood like the 2010 flood, which, by the way, the food saver down there, it did get flooded in the 2010 inside the store itself. So what I'd like to keep moving forward with the city engineer, and I'm just curious of what you thought about constant evaluation of whether they needed to be maintained.
Well,
And removing the silt is what I had in mind.
my experience with all that kind of infrastructure, and I lived in Franklin for 20 years, and I ran into this issue down there, is that if those areas are not kept clean of silt,
Yeah.
you're going to have a problem at some point in time.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to get done in our storm water maintenance, is to get a periodic maintenance program set up for our detention ponds. And I think it should be done by the HOAs and the developer, rather than the city take it on 25 years later. You know, so that's what I'm looking into personally myself. But I do appreciate your help on that. Thank you,
All right.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Karen Cobb, 7802 Willow Crest. Okay, so I have a couple topics that I'd like to, for one, I wanted to touch base on what this gentleman said in regards to San Marcos. So I'm from San Diego, California. I've lived here a little over about 11, 12 years. My dad was, I have friends that live in Escondido. My dad lived in Escondido, in Oceanside. So you were there during the fire, correct? The one fire that jumped the 24 lanes from one side to the other, it was in the one, yeah, the one in San Diego that burned up half of San Diego. Okay. So and the reason why I ask you that is because, like, if you were there, then that means that you have done some extensive, because that fire had no discrimination. It burned one house and left the next house literally right next door to it. So anyways, since he brought that up, he brought up some excellent points, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say to him in regards to how we are planning for future disasters, because this disaster, I've heard many people who know that I've been coming to the meetings ask me that same question, like, how are we preparing for the future? And a lot of people want to know what the board is doing in regards to looking at that with fire and safety. And so, anyways, on a separate topic, stoplights off of Horn Tavern. So there's been discussion in regards to the new houses going in, emergency rooms, all that, and a lot of them are close or to Horn Tavern, which I know that the one people that came the one time, more houses being built, people using it as an alternate route, lots of stop signs going in, which absolutely does not too much good. We actually need our own dedicated police officer just for Horn Tavern to a degree, but people can't get in and out. They need to have stoplights on both ends, at least on one end for now, to see how it can get people in and out, but there's no stoplights for anybody to get in and out of that neighborhood at all, I don't think. People coming from CCC, and then whatever clout the church had, now you supposedly can't even go left to get in there. You have to go down and all the way down and around. And so anyways, I've had several residents ask me to bring that up during the meeting. And then I also wanted to talk about, I've also had people on the same, because of where the ER possibly may be going, concerned about noise, traffic, and obviously traffic going and people using Horn Tavern again. And so people want to know if there was any, one lady was asking me if there's been anything, if anybody knows if that affects property value. The noise, the traffic, and all that stuff, if an emergency room going in that close to housing tracks, how much it would affect property value, noise complaints, hearing that stuff. And if there was a helicopter, anything with a helicopter, one lady was asking me. things that I hadn't heard being asked yet. So those are some things that all are, have been asked as well. I have, in our neighborhood, we have a retention pond, which was required to have a fence put around it because we have children in the neighborhood. It has no fence around it, and I'm not sure if all retention ponds are required to have like a 4-foot fence around it. But I guess that's one of my questions is do retention ponds generally need to have some sort of fence? I know that our supposed HOA was required to put one. We don't have one, and if a kid dies, I don't know who's going to be responsible for that because it hasn't been completed and it's been there for a while. And so, and that has to do with the cleanup of that as well. So those are all separate issues, I know. And then I have been asked to make sure and let people know that I do have forms. It's been brought up several times in regards to the Sunshine Law and the Sunshine Law being broken. And so I have made lots of copies and passed out the forms to file a complaint in regards to that. It is done through the state attorney general. He's asked that all forms be sent to them at, it's through the Tennessee Coalition for Open Government, and they have a form. It also can go through TNATTYGEN at agitn.gov is one location that the form can be sent to. It can be printed down, and if anybody needs copies, like I said, I've already passed several out, but I didn't bring them tonight just because I'm not a copy machine for making everybody, but I'm more than happy to if people ask me for more. I was going to finish reading what I had started reading last week. I'm not an advocate for the law to be broken and for personal gain or for hurt feelings or for whatever reasons. It's unethical for what I feel has, and I can see has happened. You guys have to look in the mirror and at yourself, and all complaint forms have already been put in. I know more people are wanting to do the same thing. I can give everybody the information that they need. I stand by my last statement that it is a huge conflict of interest for Bucciolini's and his wife to both hold offices in Fairview. You can just look it up on AI and ask the question and you will get your answer. Meanwhile, I think that's about it. But like I said, the stoplights were a huge thing for, I seem to have gotten the most people that have asked me about that. But there are the other questions as well, and I'm sure somebody can get back with me with some of those answers at some point. Thank you.
What subdivision do you live in?
A Willow Crest.
Okay. I did want to say one thing. People keep referring to retention ponds. They're actually detention ponds.
Oh,
because-
okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not just letting people know.
Yep.
I was in that field for a while. So anyway, a retention pond actually is meant to hold water. A detention pond is to release water over a period of time. So
I thought their form said, because it runs down and it's in the middle of, like, so 12 houses, it's in the middle, and then it keeps going.
yes, so that would be a detention pond where
Okay.
it releases the water. But
Okay.
you are correct. It does have to have a fence around it. So I just wanted to get the information about your neighborhood so that I can find out why it doesn't have a fence.
Yeah, we're also, yes, exactly. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes. Yeah, it's fine. Commissioner Buffalini.
I'd like to comment on a couple of things that Mrs. Cobb had brought up in regards to the ER, or both of the ERs that are coming here. Both ERs have been offering public information to everybody. They've been putting it out there and offering it. And if people still have questions, go onto their website, go onto their Facebook page. You can ask questions. They will get back to you on anything you want. I can't say how many there's been, but I mean, just in the past 3 weeks, there must have been at least 3 or 4 from each HCA and from Ascension education seminars or just meet and greets where people can come and get that information. So I urge you guys, if you have more questions about the ERs that are coming here to Fairview or that are applying to come to Fairview, really you should attend those and ask your questions directly to them rather than hearing it or answers from us up here. I think that would be the best way to do it. I know Mr. Whitson, Sam Whitson, was here. I don't think he's here anymore, but he would have been a great individual to ask. And I do also know that Miss Patty Carroll, you can ask Miss Patty Carroll about a lot of the ER questions that you have. And just about any one of our commissioners that are sitting up here, we have spoken and have been at a lot of these events that these ERs have been hosting. And so we have a lot of answers for you as well. If you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions. But to sit here and just to hear vague questions, we can't really answer anything unless we have direct questions. But when you ask about the helipad, the state will mandate whether or not they need a helipad. I don't think they want to pour a helipad because that's going to be very costly to the ERs. However, they both have designed for helipads to be built. As far as the sound and all that, the only sirens you're going to be hearing are going to be from ambulances, which we hear on a daily basis as it is right now. But having an ER close here will also have, it's going to save lives. Whether it's one ER or it's 2 ERs that are coming here, it's going to save lives. And regardless of where they're going to be, this is something that Fairview really needs. And this is going to be great for all ages, not just for the elder, not for senior citizens, not for middle-aged people, for children as well. I mean, this is just something that's going to be great for Fairview. And I appreciate both of the entities that are entertaining coming here. And I'm looking forward on May 27th to being up at the state capitol and speaking at Cordell Hull about my enthusiasm of having an ER, if not 2 ERs, here in Fairview.
Mayor, I just want to add to that. Don't quote me on it, but I believe when speaking with one of the entities, I can't remember which one, they're both planning on pouring a helicopter pad, but that is not to be daily use. It is simply going to be so if the need for helicopter transport comes up, they have the opportunity to take advantage of that. So if accident 40 come here, they can bring a helicopter and fly you down to Nashville if needed or whatnot. But I don't believe either is planning on having like nonstop helicopter traffic.
And also to bump off of that, if a helicopter does come here, it's for a life-saving situation. It's not because they just want to fly a helicopter around Fairview and take pictures of things. It's going to be for a life-saving issue that we transport, that the ambulance transports to the ER. The helicopter will come to the ER to transport to whether it be HCA or any close-by hospital. So that's the only reason. They're not going to house one here. So I'm just letting you know that if it's coming, it's here for a reason, and that's saving someone's life. So I'm willing to hear that helicopter.
Who's next? Come on up. Don't be afraid.
I was going to say, Miss Patty.
He's coming.
Oh, look at that.
He's coming. I
It's
knew
a
it.
tie.
All we had was volunteer fire department down here forever. I mean, why do we need 2 helicopter pads here now? Because the growth is.
I tell you what, before we
out of-
continue, just give us your name and
Oh,
address.
Steve.
And so
Steve
we know who
Fox.
you are.
I live over in Glen Haven. I've been in the
All right.
area for 72 years, farming down off Lick Creek Road. So I've been around. I know the city. And the growth is uncontrolled. I'm sorry, people come around that, they're not from here. They're not used to bugs in their trees. They're not used to what we have here. It's just the way the life is here. This is country. It used to be. It's lost its appeal, a lot of it. But however, we're still attracting a lot of growth. And it's, we got Highway 100 out here. We can't widen for 10 more years, correct? What are we gonna do with all these people?
Yeah. T-Dot.
And you say the retention, detention ponds, they wouldn't be here if we didn't have houses built right next to each other. Is that correct? We had acre lots. We wouldn't need that. Where do we have acre lots anymore? Everything's getting rezoned. And the annexations, when somebody wants to annex their property, do it, but control it. Don't take 111 acres and, okay, we're gonna have 190 acre lots on there. And then rezone and then put 140 or 260 quarter acre lots on that same property. We can't handle it. We don't have the infrastructure. That's well known. I mean, we're getting our water from Dixon. Used to have it here. What happened? Mismanagement? Tell me.
We got rid of the water because we couldn't
Why?
afford it.
Why?
Because it was in such bad shape, the amount of money that it required for us to put investment into it to make it manageable wasn't feasible.
Okay.
So the only option at that time, I wasn't here.
Oh, I was here.
Yeah, so maybe you could tell me, but it sounds like you're
I
pretty
don't know about the water. I
in
know
tune
about
with
I
it.
know about the sewer.
Yeah, no, that was, I think Mr. Hall could talk about it, but it was, there was no, my understanding is there was no option.
Well, yeah, there wasn't at the time, and at the time, that's when they put the sewer in. And if you didn't get on the sewer, your house was gonna be condemned. That's another subject, but anyway.
Actually, excuse me for butting in, but we were pretty well forced by TDEC to get it sold to somebody that could take care of it.
Okay.
We didn't have the money to take care of it at the time, so their
Well,
option was
the
to.
water bill there used to be
sell it-
$9,
Sell it to
so,
them, yeah. But we did have the water coming from Harpeth River for a number of years, and it was, contract was with the city of Fairview on the water itself. So the water was never an issue, it was always the sewer was the big issue.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so, three of you guys are here, been here forever. You're from the, you've been from the neighborhood. A couple of you are new. Don, I've talked to you several times. Carolyn, I'll talk to you one-on-one sometime if I could. Anyway, I didn't come here prepared to say anything. I thought it was a council meeting. I was gonna listen, so thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, we're happy for you to come and speak. I know, they missed an opportunity, didn't they? Because we need to, if you haven't voted yet, please vote on May 5th. Today was the last day for early voting, so everybody get out there and vote on May 5th, if you haven't voted yet.
I thought I would just jump in real quick on the ER stuff. Not that I'm going to add anything more, but, they have been out in the neighborhoods doing these community meetings. I do encourage everybody to try to attend. I know it's a busy time of year, but they are very accessible. Commissioner Bufalini's right. It is important that you realize they're not running ambulance all day long. It's not like it's a hospital. Most of the time, it's going to be somebody walking in with emergency, and it will be treated at the site, and there won't be additional care needed. So yes, there will be ambulance coming in and out, but it's not like you would imagine. Everything shows that, the only time you're really going to hear the ambulance is when they're having to transport them to Nashville from the freestanding ER. So that's kind of, I know it's a concern, it's a real concern that people have, but everybody I've talked to with the Hospitals Association says it just doesn't run that many ambulance, but we're going to have it, and that's the nice part. Another nice thing that we learned at Ascension the other night is Ascension will provide their own ambulance also, in addition to what we already have. I don't know about TriStar because that's the first I've heard that mentioned, so that's something we can ask them, but I thought it was a nice added piece of information. Now, she said something interesting. I did some homework when we first found out about Ascension, about what it does to property values, because that was a question. It actually increases the property values. I don't really understand why, but it's just because people want to live where there's medical care. So it takes the value up. So that was another point. I was trying to think if there was anything else that she said. Now, the emergency in the helicopter pad, it also is not going to be running every day. So if it does come out, it will be an emergency situation. So, and we already have that. I mean, if there was emergency, the major hospitals would fly in and have to come out. So it truly is just going to save people's lives. So is there anything else that they asked that I should say? Okay. The other thing I wanted to take the opportunity was to tell a little bit more about the Invest Fairview dinner. As everybody knows, this is more for the public, but I'm going to repeat myself to the board. $2.7 million was the estimate cost for the cleanup of Fern. We are kicking off a Invest Fairview fundraiser. It will be at Camp Marymount on May 15th, Friday, May 15th. Tickets are on sale, so you can scan the invitation, and it will go directly to Square, and then you email me your receipt, and that's your RSVP. If you want to donate, we're taking auction donations. You can contact me, and I'm happy to we'll advertise, put your name on it if it's a business and if you want it, and it'll just help promote your business. Still taking sponsorships, so anybody interested in that, I'm glad to help them with that. But it's a great night. We have some great music. Brian Ray is going to play, so I'm very excited about that. We've had, and y'all, everybody so far has been fabulous. Everything is in kind. And as of today, now I'm not saying there might not be something that come up that we may have to, use the sponsorship money to purchase. But as it sits right now, we have, everything's been in kind. No money has been spent. So we have the food donated by Puckett's. We have the music. Eddie at Uncle Lenny's, their house band, he has some special guests coming in that night. So if you like to dance, there's going to be an opportunity after dinner. We also are going to recognize some of our fabulous volunteers that have just shown up and shown out during Fern and helped with cleanup. As y'all know, I've asked all of y'all to, nominate somebody, and we'd like to recognize them and just be a community day that everybody, or evening, that we can come together, have the relief of knowing the park is open and the streets are working on being clean, and hopefully they are. If they didn't finish this week, hopefully this is.
They're finished.
They're finished. So anyway, it's just a great night to celebrate. So if anybody has any questions, just come to me and I'll be glad to answer them.
I have a question, quick question for you. I'm sorry. if somebody can't make it, but they still want to donate, can they drop off a check here?
Sure.
Can they do Venmo, Zelle? What are our options?
Yeah, so those are they can do the Square, if they do the online. They can stop by, make a donation at City Hall. They can write a check. Also, we take credit cards. So anybody can come by. And we've had a system, we have a resolution in place, it's been in for years. If somebody wants to donate to the city, they can. So it's already been, we have donations given. Even the Friends gave a donation tonight. So it's similar like that. We are a government agency, so it's not for profit. You can write that off if an individual donates. So those are just things to know. But anybody can donate to the city at any time. And I'm hoping as this grows, we can do more. Like we can, and then the thought process behind this was with some of these capital projects. We need a police station, a fire station, some of these growth projects that one day, it could be used towards that, or something that we need in the park or the Veterans Park. We could really decide, and that's going to be a lot. We can take it a different direction. This just seemed like the timing was right for this, so we can, bring some money in, help with the cleanup, and it's just a good opportunity to come together and just celebrate as a community and know that we're doing our part to try to clean up the city. So,
Thank you for thinking of this, and then for the time and the effort and the creativity that you've put into it. I'm so appreciative for everyone who's already given something, so this doesn't have to cost anything, and it can be a really fun night. Like you just said, it's a great opportunity for the community to come together over a common goal and do something good, and maybe we're really starting something culturally here in Fairview. So all of that is just really good, and I appreciate that so much. Just a question, just to kind of describe the night. Do people have to come for dinner? Could they come? What does that look like if people maybe want to come later or something? Is there any sort of strict format to it?
no, there's no strict format. If you want to come later, that's fine. If you don't want dinner, you're paying, your ticket, your spot is reserved. So if you have something that night, want to stop by for the second, we're going to have food for you regardless. So, it's just come as you want. You can come early and not stay for dancing, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But we have some great music, and I think it'll be fun. I hope people, I know it's a crazy time of year. I do, with a lot of stuff going on. But I hope people will take the opportunity to come enjoy the time together.
I'm so appreciative to Oliver, Arnie, and Camp Marymount
Yes.
for doing this. Just so great. So
Well, and they're getting ready for camp, so that was some of the rush. So they're having their big gala Friday night, and then the weekend we're there, they're actually going to be training some of their camp counselors somewhere else. So they are starting. So but this was great, and we appreciate Camp Marymount has always been a great partner. So grateful.
So, May 15th at what time?
6:30 to 9:30.
And the ticket is $100 a person. And if people have things they want to donate to the silent auction, do they bring them to you?
Yeah, they can email me or just drop them off at City Hall. They hold them for me if somebody drops it off. The only thing I ask is give me the value that it is, and then if you want your name recognized on the sheet or not, because I would like to give the donors the recognition, but I've had some people not want it, so it's whatever.
So if people donate items, those can be written off as a donation to the, okay.
Yep.
Are there rules as what can be donated?
We haven't made any. If we
So
see
if
that a
somebody
problem, I'll come back to you.
If somebody wants to donate a Pappy Van Winkle
We gotta
to
talk
my
to
son-in-law,
Don Norman. We gotta
I'd
talk
be
to
No,
happy
Don.
to
I mean,
bid on that.
we'll take it, whatever,
Oh, me.
whatever they think is a value that somebody would bid on, we're happy to take it, so.
An armadillo.
Armadillo. That's great. Well, I'm excited for that. I think that's going to be a fun evening for everybody, especially the community come together. I think that's going to be great. Thank you very much for that. That same weekend, by the way, starting on a Thursday, and it is also the Franklin Rodeo. So, but it's going to be a great week. We're going to have fun.
Question, can I only ask y'all questions? Because I was curious about, like, who decides what these donations are made for? Like, is it, like, how it's spent? Is that a city manager? Is that the BOC? Is it a, how's that? Because I'm looking future when you say stuff. Okay.
So basically, we designated who it's going to, so it's for cleanup. So anytime we do something, it will have a designation to what the purpose is, and it can only be spent for that. So we already have programs kind of similar, Shop with a Cop, that's one, you know, it can only be spent on that item. They take donations. So we do have a process in place, so that, I mean, it's.
I think it's good for everybody to hear
Yeah, it's
that.
a valid question.
Yeah,
And
and let's say you need $1,000, I know it's gonna be more than that, but you got 1,100, would y'all just decide what the other 100 is gonna be?
Well,
For the next
it
one,
it
or-
will all go to the cleanup, you know, so
Well, I know the
I
cleanup,
wish.
I'm just seeing in the future. We're just
Yeah,
trying to- okay.
I mean, my goal would be to pay for the whole cleanup, but, you know, no matter what, not that that's gonna happen, but I'm
impressive.
just saying. But no matter what, all the money will go as it's designated. And we're gonna keep, I mean, we're keeping track of who's donating money. We're giving out invoices, you know, people are getting receipts. So that'll all be tracked. And then Ben has a line item for donations, or the same way they do the Shop with a Cop, or if you just wanted to come in and write a check for the city or something for the park, it's the same process. I mean, so it's been done before, even like with the playground rebuild. I think initially the Friends collected the money, but then they wrote the check as a donation to the city. So it's something that we've done.
just good for people to
Yeah,
hear,
oh, yeah, no,
'cause, you know.
I agree.
Okay, thank you.
Is that-
I figured y'all had a process, but it's good for everybody to hear. I don't assume anything, you know that about me, right? I do have one, if I can ask Karen, what's sunshine law? What was the topic? Is it the same one you've been talking about? The whole, Tom or something?
I don't mind you asking Ms. Cobb a question, but if you could, Ms. Cobb, if you could come to the mic, just because we've got people watching at home, and I want them to know the whole context of the question and answer.
The sunshine law is kind of the breaking of the quorum, so it's an
I know
either,
what it is,
okay,
but
oh,
I'm
okay,
asking what
that
are
is
you-
what,
What
yes.
are you putting in, what's specific?
Well, there was also ethics aspect. So the way that Tom was fired, the illegal meeting that was called, there was a emergency meeting that was called.
Okay.
Yes. So that was called, and that was where the sunshine law actually happened. Where,
With all these? That wasn't on-
yep.
I'm sorry,
I'm gonna ask, okay, thank you.
well,
So,
that never
I
happened.
want y'all to rebut, did that really happen?
That's completely untrue.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
That never happened. There
I
was
just like to
no
understand where we're coming
meeting.
from.
It
Mr.
happened
Doherty
if you go and you
resigned.
ask the office in regards to how the communication and how the meeting actually came about for that.
Y'all,
one.
all five of y'all came up here? Is that what you're saying? All 5 of them came up?
Who did we
Came up
talk
here?
to?
No, no, no. So because I went to the office and I asked, like,
Asked
how
who?
did, where were the,
Ask
in
who,
my,
yeah,
where
ask
were,
who.
where were the meetings? Where was the meeting
What
that
meeting?
took place in order to have, exactly,
What
what
meeting?
meeting?
Yeah,
What
what
meeting, exactly, what meeting
You
took
tell
place?
What meeting
You're
are
the
you
one
just
making
talking about?
accusations.
Somebody told you, who told you there was a meeting?
Oh, no, no, I went and I asked if there was a meeting at the office. I asked for the notes of a
Asked who?
meeting.
Who did you speak with?
Yeah.
Whoever was at the front desk of the city hall.
And they told you that we were having illegal
No,
private
I
meetings.
said that, no, I asked where the meeting notes were. There were no meeting notes because there was no meeting.
Meeting, you're right, there was no
So
meeting.
there was no
Very good.
sunshine
So
law broken.
how, no, it was done through a phone call.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So the attorney can call us and get
One
our
at a time.
opinion.
Yep.
One at a time.
Yep.
It's a
That's okay.
wild, wild idea, isn't it?
That's okay.
It's crazy.
Yep, so.
That's
if
okay,
you-
though.
If you want to, sure, have you seen how much we pay the lawyer?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've seen a
all
lot
right.
of things we pay people around here. Yeah, believe me, I look at numbers. Some of it's surprising. Some of it's sad. So, I'll just say. Okay, thank you for letting me, because I want to make sure I get all the facts here, so. At some point, in fact, yeah, I know, yeah. Well, to me, if you keep saying a lie over and over and over and over, it's still a lie. It just makes somebody a liar, so.
Just for the record for everybody, the city attorney is the ethics officer for the city. All you gotta do is file an ethics complaint with him, and it'll be dealt with. That's yet to happen. There's a lot of talk.
Yeah.
A lot of talk, very little action. So I would encourage anybody who feels that there was violations, that you just go ahead and take some action, and let's have the conversation. Because there's a lot of he said, she said, or I've heard this from somebody, I've heard that from somebody. No names, no specifics.
I agree.
Right? Just a whole lot of allegations.
I agree.
And it's interesting because we are individuals too that have rights.
Right.
So I would just be careful with what accusations are being thrown out there.
I agree.
Well, I'd like to take this just another direction also, that I'm really easy to get a hold of, and I'm really easy to talk to. And if there's something that I've done or something that you've got a question about, all you have to do is reach out to me. And I'm more than happy to talk with folks. So
And just for everybody
there's-
understanding, I'm not saying y'all violated anything.
Well, I understand that,
Okay.
but to what Vice Mayor McDonald was just saying, there's a lot going around, and if people have questions, sometimes the best thing to do is to go to the source. We all live side by side in this town, and we'll run into each other at stores, and we'll see each other at the park. And it's a lot easier to have a conversation and ask questions and give somebody an opportunity to speak. And you might find that we're a little bit closer in meeting of the minds than not, but it's also okay to disagree. But I ask y'all to humanize each one of us a little bit.
Yep.
And just talk to us. If you've got a question, just give us a call or send an email. And
Text,
I'm
yeah.
happy.
You answer back.
Happy to talk about
Dawn answers
anything.
back. Chris
Yes.
answers back. I don't have your number.
But
You
just
ain't- you don't return
just
any of
would
my
really
stuff, so.
appreciate that.
Oh, well,
So-
I mean, I've talked to you many times. You call
No,
me
ma'am.
at 6 in the morning,
No,
7
ma'am.
in the morning, 8
I got
in the morning.
records and I can show you
I
texts.
will show you my records
Text.
as well
Go
because
for it.
I don't get up that early.
Go for it.
And I
Go
can
for
show
it.
you where you've called me many times
Go
early
for
in the
it.
morning, and I've answered you back.
Yeah, no, but okay.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, just to piggyback off of, commissioners and vice mayor. I too am so easily to get in touch with. I mean, people stop me, they talk to me everywhere, and I will sit and talk. My wife gets angry with me because I leave her at supermarkets and I talk to people, and I don't mind talking about anything that anybody would like to speak to. And a lot of allegations that came our way or my way directly, not one of those people have reached out to me directly and asked me any questions about any of it. And I even offer this to Ms. Cobb right now. If you'd like to sit down with me, I have no problem sitting down with you, and I will discuss anything that you would like to discuss at any time. I also want to let everyone know that, yes, we are elected officials up here. This is not a full-time job, although we work full-time hours. Every one of us up here literally work full-time hours doing this, and we're okay with it. We chose to run a campaign and win and sit up here, and we chose to be here.
Yep. And you have full-time jobs.
And we
outside
have
of this.
full-time jobs outside of this as well. It's mind-boggling, I know. But this is what we chose to do. We want to do the right thing and help. And by being attacked and have allegations come at us, I mean, this affects not just us personally, but this affects our families. This affects our friends. I mean, sitting at dinners, I mean, It sucks. I'm not gonna put it out there like that, okay? And you know, but I love doing what I do, and I will continue to do everything I can do as a commissioner sitting up here. And I promise, even the people that don't like me or didn't vote for me, I will still continue to work for those people and do everything that I possibly can for them to help.
I think all of you will, actually. I mean, from what I'm seeing.
That's true. We all will.
I think you all will, so, from what I've seen. The second thing I'd like to address, I don't really need her up here to talk, but the lawyers spoke about this. Dawn is on the BOC. Deborah's running for city court clerk. That's more of a, it's for city, but it's state. There's laws. They're two different things. The people up here cannot lower or increase any city court clerk's pay. That is not where it happens. So that's not a conflict of interest, and even the lawyer said that. So again, saying lies over and over and over and over don't make it true. So going to, I was at a lot of these ER, both of them meetings, and there's been a lot, and I know people have a lot going on, but it's sad how few people show up. Very few people show up, and that's where you can ask questions. They always have like an army of people there to answer all kinds of questions at both of them, TriStar and Ascension. So I think that's who you should ask. They may have some information, I have some information, but to me, go to the source. It's the best way to do it. Clarity on the ER and ambulances a little bit, because I brought this up when we was meeting the other night with them. The county ambulance EMS is who will come to your house or wherever. The rec center seems to be a popular place too, to pick people up and take them to an ER somewhere. So whether they're taking you to an ER here in town, or they're taking you to, we don't have one, so they're taking you to Dixon or St. Thomas or Williamson County, right? Some of those counties, you're going to hear an ambulance. Okay, so I don't understand, there's more noise. You're still going to hear an ambulance because if somebody has an emergency, they're going to be picked up. Now, where Ascension, we have, I don't know about TriStar, if they have to then go to another hospital, like they get them patched up enough or stable enough, but they can't go home, they will use their ambulances to take them somewhere else. So that takes it off of the county ambulances. Now, also, if an ambulance around here is taking it to somewhere in town, you're talking 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know, whatever long it takes them to load, put them in, take them out, maybe a little longer, 30 minutes. But if they have to take them all the way somewhere else, everywhere else is 30 minutes, am I about right? About 30 minutes from here? So that's 30 minutes there, that's 30 minutes back, plus the loading, the unloading, and everything else. So that, to me, will save the ambulance for the next person that might have a problem at the same time.
It depends if they hit the traffic on 100.
Right. But either way, I mean, either way, it's a win, I think. So I don't think people are logistically looking at this. As far as helicopters, I don't think you're going to get a lot of those because that's a severe thing. And if it was your loved one, wouldn't you want an ambulance or a helicopter? I just ask you that. Do you hear helicopters from Fort Campbell? Do y'all go up there and yell at them? I don't think so. I wouldn't. But you hear the helicopters. I don't think it's going to be a lot. So I think some people just get the sky's falling too much sometimes and don't sit and think about these things logistically with a little common sense. It is concerns. It's okay to ask. I don't think any question is wrong to ask. But let's ask the people. Let's think about it, and let's not get all, I guess, bent out of shape before we figure out what's happening here and think about what it saves versus what it costs. Got another one here. This is stuff I'm just hearing here. So glad you have some experience in this. As far as the emergency policy mitigation, of course, we're broke, I feel like. I'm sorry, there's just so much stuff. Are you volunteering, or do we go pay somebody, or? You don't have to answer this, but that's just, I'm gonna throw that out there, so, you know, because right, and that costs money unless they can do it, right? Unless they have the skill set to do it. Yeah, and it costs money, so I don't think it's a bad idea, though, but we're broke. I mean, I can lay out, I have all kinds of numbers.
I just disagree with that. We are not broke. And putting it out there that we're broke gets a lot of people upset about something that's not true.
Okay, fair enough. You mean,
So please don't.
I got my
please
numbers
don't-
here.
Please don't say that we're not, that we're broke, because
Our
we are
property
not
taxes are
broke.
going up, you're right. That's probably what's going to happen, it was said. I got numbers, though. I could spit them out if y'all want. I got numbers.
We have
but-
not voted on property taxes going up,
I understand.
so.
But the last city manager
Yeah.
said they're going to go up because of what all's fire truck and everything else. I'm sorry?
We get monthly financial reports that have all of our
Can
city
that be
finance numbers.
sent to us, or is it only to y'all? Or do we have to know the magic Google thing to go and figure it out where it is on that lovely Google site? Because I find a lot of stuff, but it takes a lot of hours because there's no date on it. Do you have any idea? Can we see some of that, or?
I'm sure public information requests could be put in.
I did, and only thing I got was last year's budget, so. For this year, so. I did put one in,
You got the current budget?
yeah.
Well, then you
other
got the
budget-
current
But if you got
information.
monthly stuff, you said you're getting monthly things, so we've spent more things, we've actually done more of the bond money, we still have money we gotta decide on.
The monthly
to
financial
spend.
report shows how much within the budget money's being spent, but the budget's not being adjusted every month.
I got you, I understand.
So if they say there's $100,000 allocated for X, each month we show how much of that $100,000 has been used. But the
So,
budget is 100,000, and that does not change monthly.
and I looked at, and I didn't see anything for an ambulance in the last one, fire truck in the last one. Somewhere that's gotta be adjusted, right? Because we just had to take a loan out, comes
Yeah,
in
we
next.
voted on
We
that.
voted on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I understand, but it's still a loan, right? Still gotta go in the budget, we gotta pay it back, right?
We don't have the loan as of right now, so we're not paying on anything,
I understand, but it will have to,
which
so.
is why it's not currently reflected in the budget.
Okay. We're splitting hairs here, but okay.
No, when you say we're broke and we're not broke, we don't want the community to feel
Okay.
like what you're saying is
Okay,
accurate.
I'll put it
because
better.
it's
We're
not
in
accurate.
debt pretty good, so, we're in debt pretty good, or could be, so, I know y'all are trying to come up with some ways to take care of that, and I appreciate like what Patty's doing and stuff, but we do have a lot of debt that's come on the last 1 year, actually.
We apologize for scheduling that ice storm. I know it was an inconvenience.
Yeah,
That
no,
was-
no, you didn't schedule.
Yeah,
but
and
that's
let me tell you something, we could have chosen not to clean up anything except city property, and we took care of our community. So, there.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, it's my house, I should take care of my property, but, that's just two different stance, I guess, to a point, so you're saying that so it can be a problem to me, I don't know, because I take care of my property.
Well, that's wonderful. There's some people who aren't able to take care of their property.
Then put in something and maybe help them instead of everything.
If I
but-
could, for just a
Yeah.
second, I think this will be productive also. If you look online
Okay,
at the agenda for the Thursday, April 16th regular BOC meeting, and you go down to item 8C, you can click on a PDF of the finance report. You will see the same exact report that we receive.
okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I was gone for that when I was on a
But
trip, so.
they're
yeah.
online, so you
Yeah.
you can see those reports, and they're laid out pretty well. There's a single page that gives us all of the budget
It's starting to
lines.
get where there's a lot more stuff put on those, which I appreciate, where they're attaching to the agenda, so that really helps.
Anytime you go to an item on the agenda, it has
yeah, I do that.
where you can click on it and find out all the information.
Yeah, okay. And I did that. But anyway, that's just, I'm not gonna read all of what I didn't get to read one time, because I just, it's a lot of numbers, but I just heard some things here that need to quit being said. It's not true, and then some questions of good points that were brought up. And I still appreciate what y'all do. Really do. It's not an easy job. So, thank you.
I do want to say something about an ER here as well. So I've mentioned this before, but I was bit by a very poisonous snake and went to the ER in Dixon, and the doctor there told me I had about 3 hours to live. So if any one of your children, grandchildren, family members if something like that happened to them, we have poisonous snakes out here. We have them in the park. We have them in our backyards, some of us, and you have no idea how fast, once you get, if someone gets bit or if someone has a heart attack or someone has a stroke, to have our own emergency facility here that can stabilize you is can be a matter of life and death. So anybody, please think about our community. This is not a negative in any form. This is a great positive for our community. I can't imagine what would have happened to me if I had to try to navigate getting to Nashville or Franklin with that serious injury, a bite that I went through, because I wouldn't have survived. So it was a freestanding ER, the one in Dixon that I was able to make it to, and they saved my life. So I would say that if anybody's family member experiences a life-threatening emergency, just think if your child or grandchild was going through something, if they had something very serious, you'd want a helicopter to come in if that was deemed necessary. You'd want that ER here where they can stabilize them. They were able to get me that anti-venom and the vancomycin because I had a septic situation with the bite. They were able to get that in my system quick enough to save my life. And I think it's nothing but positive that, there are 2 ERs that are wanting to come to our community. So I'm excited.
Mayor,
Yes.
thank you. Just like to make a comment. I've served on several different boards in this town. I've never served on one that the people that serve the Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, the BOC, that the people that were serving for the city didn't love this city. And we spend a lot of time focusing on what we can do to make the city better. I've never seen a board yet that didn't try to do that same thing. Actually, I think we live and sleep this city. It's just been my focus with my family first. My Lord should be first. I'll get that back out. But the next thing is the city. And I've not seen a board that I've sat on that the people that sit up here didn't do the same thing. But any kind of encouragement that you can give us, it would make our job a lot easier. It's not an easy job sitting up here because there's so many things that we have to think about, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. We try to do the right thing. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody and their kind remarks. And I thank this board too for everything that they do, and the boards in the past that I've served with. I've just hoped that I've been a little bit of a help through the years to move ourselves forward. And Ms. Cook, I got my information wrote down for you up here before you leave. Thank y'all.
Mayor, can I make an announcement really quick? Sure. All right, really quick. I'm sorry. So I just got a text from somebody that said, congratulations to the Lady Falcons middle school softball team for winning the Williamson County Middle School Association Championship. That's great. So congratulations to the Lady Falcons. Sorry. Okay. That was important.
Eileen Brogan, 7106 Brush Creek Road South, and I'm a county resident. And even though I don't live in the city, I really appreciate that the city is going to get an ER. The only time I've ever been to an ER, I had double vision and vertigo at the same time, and my husband took me to Williamson County, and turned out it was an inner ear thing. It wasn't any big deal, but if it had been a stroke, that half hour would have made a huge difference. And I'm really glad that we're going to get an ER, and I got a question. there's two ERs that are they going to both be here, or one or the other? I mean, are they fighting over us, or what's going on? I'd really like to know, you know, what's your insight on that? And also, thank you all for what you do.
We go before the board, like Commissioner Buffalini said, on May 27th, and they will issue a certificate of need. And after that, we don't know if they're going to say one or the other, but if they say both, it's up to the two different hospitals to figure out. They both have land that, one they've already purchased, the other one I believe is under contract, and it will be up to them to determine if they feel like they both want to be here. So, but the certificate of need is first, and that's on May 27th.
And Ms. Brogan, what you had said was you specifically said that you live in the county. These ERs are not just for Fairview City residents, and that's the best part about it, is that this is going to be open to the public, whether it be Williamson County, whether it be Hickman or Dixon. Everyone's going to be able to utilize this, and it's going to be a great opportunity for our city as well, because that brings revenue here. Because every time someone's going to the hospital, they're going to leave the hospital and be like, my gosh, I'm hungry. They're going to go eat locally as well. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So I think this is going to be great for our city. I mean, not just for revenue wise, just introducing Fairview to the rest of the surrounding counties and putting Fairview really where we should be as part of Williamson County.
And just to add to it, just so everyone's really clear, on May 27th, everyone can go and speak in favor of one or both of these to the board. So, yeah, and there will be a lot more information coming out as we get closer, but mark May 27th on your calendar. It's in Nashville, Cordell Hall.
Yeah.
And everyone can go and speak about it. So you could go tell your story to them to say, this is why it's so important for us to go. So I think that the board probably will plan to be there, anybody who can make it that day, but people living in and around Fairview should certainly show up to support these, because that's what will help us.
It's at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. It's in Nashville, and at the Cordell Hall building, and
I'm
9
sure
a.m.,
we
yeah.
will put out information as we get closer. So if you just
Absolutely.
keep the date 9 o'clock, and it will go all day.
and it's
From
on
what
a
I understand,
Wednesday.
It's like the
It's on a Wednesday.
whole day. So please plan to go and speak in favor of these. So as I just echo what's been set up here, it's that there's no way this isn't going to win. And the first life that's saved is going to prove it. It'll be worth every bit of it. So please,
And you
please
don't
do plan
have
go.
you don't have to go speak for one or the other. You can just talk about how, we need emergency services in Fairview. You don't have to say, oh, I'm for this one or that one. You can just speak for both.
Right. And that's what one of our resolutions was supporting both ERs, not choosing. And, we're a partisan board. We don't want to choose either. We don't want to be put in that predicament. We want to choose both. That's what we want. We want to be silly with it and be like, no, we want both. We're Fairview. But also, I think there's a QR code that you can also scan for each of the facilities, or both of them, and you can put a letter of support in for them. I'm sure Miss Patty Carroll, you can get that to Ms. Brogan as well. And then there are letters outside, at least there was some letters outside that you can also sign as letters of support, and we can get those letters to the right people as well, just to show our support if you can't make those meetings. And that would be greatly appreciated by both facilities.
And there's letters that are already, the letter of support is already written, and I've got 2 stacks. I'm not promoting my business, but I've got 2 stacks at my business next door, and all you have to do is sign your name, and they're submitted to the Hospital Association.
Just to clarify, the one I know I've seen, they say it's as a resident of Fairview. So before somebody signs that's not a resident of Fairview, they may want to write one that's different, saying I'm real close to it, because you don't want to sign something that's not completely. Does, I know, yeah. So that doesn't mean you can't do something, but just.
Well, it doesn't specify a county or city limits for
There's-
Fairview. It's Fairview, so yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah.
It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that strict about it.
before you call the meeting, I need to say something about a family that lost their loved ones.
Absolutely.
Longtime resident Buddy Hall passed away 2 days ago. The funeral's tomorrow at 11. His daughter-in-law is a longtime employee of the city of Fairview, Miss Sharon Hall. When I say longtime family of Fairview, they date back to the 1800s. I am a distant cousin. But Buddy was a very instrumental person and a very nice person in this town. So I just want to send my thoughts and prayers out to the Buddy Hall family. Thank you.
Come on up. I can see you want to say something. Come on up. I can read your, yes, your vibe.
Fox again. I just want to say thanks for having that emergency meeting a couple of weeks ago to get the debris. The company finished their job because they got halfway finished and then found out that they weren't done. So I appreciate y'all getting that done. All the newbies over here and, people from out of town that, this is Bowie Nature Park. You got it cleaned up first.
Now, let's say it right. It's Bowie.
That depends on where
Let's say
you're
it
from.
right. The Bowie sisters.
Depends on where you're from.
They've asked them. They have asked us to. They're past now, but they've asked us to make sure everybody pronounces it
Hey,
right.
she's got family. Anyway, but it's a park. You're gonna have kids are gonna wander off in the park. You can't get every widowmaker down. It's trees are gonna fall. There's gonna be snakes there. There's gonna be spiders there. There's gonna be bugs there. It's not Central Park. People need to understand that. This is country. And y'all did everything you could to get the debris cleaned up there first, and the debris is gone now. It's in the neighborhoods, yeah. There's still some left, a bunch of it left everywhere. But their job is done. It's up to the city and the people that live there to clean up their own mess. Our neighbor's got a chainsaw, whatever. I want to say thanks for that for a bright spot.
Thank you.
I got a lot of gripes
You're
with
welcome.
you guys, but I'm not gonna. Not time for that now.
Well, and you reminded me of something. Keith, our park director, also wanted us to say that the trails are clear, and we're excited that Bowie Park is open back up this morning at 10 a.m. There was a line all the way out to the highway and around, and everybody was excited to be back in the park this morning. So it's an exciting time. But he did say that just still be careful and be aware to not leave the trails, because they're, if people decide to leave the trail and go wandering out into
You can't get anybody to sign a release before they go in the damn park.
well, they've just got to know that if they really need to stay on the trails and not go wandering out into the woods.
Tell your grandkids that.
And also, I also want to say, you were discussing about the cleanup and all that. Our Public Works Department is still going around, and you can go online and check the schedule for the chipper service. So we still have chipper service. So if you still see some debris on the side of the road, that's stuff that we can do with the chipper
Some of the
service.
state, some of the city.
Right. Well, they're
And your
doing everything
crew
that
of
they
7
possibly
on
can.
Is doing the best they can.
They are doing
Or is it
great.
6 now?
It's 4.
It's down to 4 now.
It's down to 4, but they are doing everything that they can, and God bless them, honestly.
4 to take care of this city. We're gonna have 2 ERs. We don't need but 1. But so, there you go.
Brandon, any updates on anything? Okay, we're patiently awaiting anticipation. So Anyone else? Okay, so the Fairview Community Theater is having their plays this weekend, next weekend, the 8th, the weekend of the 8th. So if you haven't been to the Triangle School, which is across from the rec center, and seen one of the Fairview Community Theater plays, they're really, really good. We've got a lot of talent out here. Just check their website, and I don't have my phone with me tonight, so I can't give all the details, but just go to the Fairview Community Theater website and check that out. But it's the weekend of the 8th.
Yeah, as far as the high school theater goes, there is a show Saturday night by the Theater 3 group if you want to see it. Tonight, I think we're missing, or last night we missed a choir concert. There was a band concert tonight. They're doing all their end of year showcase events now, and so
My goodness, that's right.
I know there's so much going on.
End of the school year's coming. Wow.
In June there will be the shows that are put on by Miss Maryland Fair and the high school theater boosters. So there will be two great opportunities to see some fun local kids in action. The older group is doing Oliver, and the younger group is doing Honk Jr. So that'll be fun. And I just want to say I hope everyone's flooding Facebook with beautiful pictures from Bowie Park today, because I didn't make it over there, so I want to live vicariously through all of you.
Don't go there. Oh, me. Yeah, there was a news report. It's kind of funny. Oh, me. Y'all just have to look it up, and you'll see what I'm saying. You know, it's so funny. The news comes out, and they want to report on things that are exciting, and they do 30 minutes full of really exciting things, and they pick something, and you're like going, what in the world was in their brain when they picked that one comment, So you'll have to watch it, to see what I'm talking about.
Why don't you give us a live version of it right now?
Oh God, no, I'll let Chris do it. Oh me. Yeah, well, you know how that works. You can go online and look it up, but anyway, yeah.
On another note, since we have nothing else to talk about, congratulations to the Fairview Titans. They had their first golf outing this past week, and I heard it was a great success. So congratulations on that. And they're doing registrations. I see posts all over the place about that. Right, Vice Mayor?
That is correct. We had our first one on Tuesday, and it went better than expected. So the weather.
Where was it at?
Greystone. Yep.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was a really fun day. The weather was not promising the whole week leading up to it, and it ended up being an amazing day. So it worked out really well.
The weather's been great lately. I mean, it could stay like this for me. So, okay, last call. Anybody else want to come to the mic and have a few words? All right. If not, we will close our town hall and we'll see you. Okay. Next meeting, BOC meeting, 7 p.m. on May 7th, Thursday, May 7th. This time next week.